Hello, everyone. Hi. This is an impromptu show where we have got three ladies in the house who share an opinion.
Women against feminism. Woo!
Not only do they share an opinion, they share it strongly. And one of these ladies was kind enough to, take one for the team and actually watch an episode of She-Hulk.
Not me.
Oh, I tried. I didn't make it 5 minutes.
I watched the Cecil Says videos on it. He's been doing reviews, and oh my god, he's been killing me.
Okay, should we drink our beverage first before we go any further, Kat?
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, we're drinking the sake now. Ready?
You guys have alcoholic beverages? Hold on, I might need to go get one.
Oh, go get your drink on.
Yeah, okay, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go mix myself a beverage.
I'm the one that has to stay sober tonight.
Wait.
5 minutes.
Wait, the one night that you do need to actually be drunk.
You know what, though? I'll have a clearer brain. So
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, tonight I was like, oh, shit, I got to stay sober tonight. Because I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning. So.
Oh.
All right. Well, while we're waiting on Catherine to return, why don't you let everyone know we're live? Because as you can see, we only have 12 viewers, which means that once again, we are being throttled by YouTube for having opinions. So let everyone know. Just get the word out there that...
Just shows that YouTube hates the whammons.
So, okay. As you can see, we are going to be talking about everybody's favorite subject.
Excuse me.
She-Hulk. And we were promised by...
And how twerking is a sin against God. I hate that picture.
Well,
it looks like she's sitting down to take a dump.
Well,
it does, but just that scene was just, it was so cringe. It's like, my brain has shut off. I don't care anymore.
Well, we've only seen clips. We will not subject... Well, actually, we can't subject ourselves to it, so it doesn't really matter.
Look, I blocked out what I watched, guys. Like I talking about earlier about people's eyes glazing over and shutting down. Yeah, it's just a blur.
So you said you tried. You tried.
I tried.
What was the thing that said nope?
Well, no. Before we get there,
okay.
How many minutes did you last watching She-Hulk?
Okay, I'm gonna probably I probably made it 1 minute, like 1 to 5 minutes.
So wait, you didn't get past the stinger?
No.
Wow.
You didn't get past the opening credits.
Honestly, I felt so fucking dirty watching it that I turned it off. I couldn't. It's that fucking awful. I just can't. I hate it.
So you...
I did a palate cleanser and watched X-Men the animated series.
Oh, well...
You know, I'm seeing that it says She-Hulk attorney at law, and I'm wishing we had the doink doink sound from Law and Order. So like every time we make a point, it's like doink doink.
Look, guys, okay, I'm gonna do a solid live right now. I'm putting Disney Plus on. I am going to try again on the first episode for the first 5 minutes.
You're going to actually run it live right now, and we're going to get a live reaction from you trying to watch this horse shit.
Yeah, guys, I'm only probably going to make it 5 minutes. Like, I feel filthy doing this already, and I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed in me for doing this.
Now, what would you rather be doing? Watching that or licking the floor of this bathroom that we have on the title card?
Oh, I've seen worse.
Yeah, but
oh my God, I'd probably lick the fucking bathroom.
No, that's not even the Kinko's bathroom in
No, you know what? I would watch it. I would watch it, but I would get really fucking hammered. Before I wouldn't lick the bathroom, but I would get drunk and roast the shit out of it.
Now, like,
oh god, okay, guys.
Is She-Hulk like one of those shows where like you could get a bottle of like $2 Chuck and just sip it while you're watching, or is this something
feel
where,
like
you need some Jack?
I feel like if we're together, like with friends, you can kind of watch it and just like kind of scream at how stupid it is together. But I've seen parts.
Pop off?
Okay, it's starting. I'm gonna be silent for 5 minutes.
Okay. So, Kat, was that the last of our sake, or do we have any more?
Is there still a bottle in there, or no?
That's the last of the bottle.
Okay, hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I can't do this sober.
Jack.
I'm gonna get a glass of whiskey.
Ginell gave
it's already
in too.
breaking me.
I've got a double shot of gin poured into some seltzer here. So
what is it on screen that is already sickening you?
I think she just ran off to grab her beverage.
While we're at it, Kat, if you want to get a shot of Jack for the evening, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the shot of Jack.
You want me to bring the bottle in here? Or?
No, just get a shot and come back.
May I have the cup, please?
Well, that's not a cup. How dare you?
It's a sake glass.
Actually, are you going to use a shot glass or?
I don't know where our shot glasses are.
Then damn you to
We should have got on before and coordinated the drinks beforehand.
Yeah, we probably should have.
Next time, we're learning.
So really, where this is all headed is I'm trying to spur all three of you into just a full rage fest on why feminism sucks.
I'll yell about feminism all day long.
And how much it's just thoroughly destroyed pop culture. I honestly think the worst
pop culture, women in general, politics, it's all of society, literally everything.
I think the worst thing that has happened, and I honestly think that if like Wollstonecraft or Susan B. Anthony were to travel forward in time and see what women have done with all the rights and gains they've been given, they would shoot themselves after seeing what they've been done with it.
I think they would come to the position I've come to, which is it was all a mistake and maybe we should have just been happy with our role in the first place.
All right, I'm back. Here we go. I just poured a double.
You just poured a double.
Yeah.
I apologize if you can hear in the background my kitten yelling at me. I was playing with her since I got home from work, and now I'm not playing with her, and she's very mad.
Speaking of Marvel Phase 4, I mean, how we were introduced to the MCU? We have this very interesting character in Tony Stark. He's a playboy. Yeah. He's full of himself. He's arrogant. He's lovably annoying. And then he gets dragged through fucking hell and has to crawl his way back up to redemption.
Do you want to know the interesting... Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. Continue.
And now
Here's my first bitch. She graduated from a UC school as a lawyer.
Okay, so what I was going to say is these writers will point to like arrogant male characters and go, see, this is why our character it's okay that our character is an insufferable bitch. And it's like, no, because you fundamentally don't understand what it is about that character's flaws that were endearing. It's like his flaws, Tony Stark's flaws were endearing because the audience is well aware that they're flaws, and you're well aware that that's something he needs to work on and that it's not a good thing. They write these female characters just as arrogant, just as obnoxious, but they think it's a good thing.
Okay, wait, she just listened to the paralegal best friend over an actual lawyer for advice because he's a dude.
Oh yeah, and I saw that scene, and actually he was saying something, well, I don't know if it's the exact same scene, but he was saying that he should do the closing argument because she wasn't doing a good job. And guess what? In the scene, she's not doing a good job. She's not convincing. She's not selling it. And he probably should deliver the closing. And he's right. It's like, if you're going to write a character who's supposed to be this male misogynist that you're supposed to hate because he's mean to the main character, don't make him right.
Wow. You're actually making an argument for Ally McBeal.
Don't make me laugh. I just got whiskey up my nose.
they write these male characters that are supposed to be like the bad guy in the situation, but they end up being, if you watch the scene, he's right. The woman is wrong in the situation, but the way the writers are approaching it, they think the woman is right and the man is wrong, and it's totally backwards.
You don't understand. It doesn't matter whether or not she's competent or not, or capable, or even good at anything. She has a vagina, goddammit.
That's exactly what it is, that a woman can do no wrong. And it's like, if she had done an amazing job and he was treating her that way, then it'd be one thing. But she very much doesn't do a great job. And you know what? That scene should have been...
Jesus fucking Christ, she eats her Cheetos with chopsticks so she won't get Cheeto dust on her fingers. What the hell is this?
I mean, honestly,
pussy.
That makes some kind of sense if you're dressed in your work clothes, I guess. But here's the thing.
Cheetos. Wait till after work.
If they had used that scene as a way to show that Jen was very mousy, afraid to stand up for herself, that she had no confidence in herself, and that was supposed to be a contrast with what she becomes when she becomes She-Hulk, then that would have been great. But they didn't do that. They just portrayed the guy. And can you tell? I've watched so many clips from the show that were cringe that I've basically...
Why the fuck is she obsessed with Steve Rogers' virginity?
It's disgusting,
why?
Isn't it?
Yes, this is actually really disturbing to me. And
yeah. Oh my God, a guy waited for marriage and had some actual values in his life. Ew, gross. Someone having values.
Okay, so wait, she's stuck on Captain America's virginity.
Yeah, she thinks because he was too busy fighting crime, he had no time to have sex.
I always thought
she's
that
obsessed with finding out if he's a virgin or not.
He was a good boy who, believes in putting a ring on it first.
Yeah, and that's virtuous. It's fucking based, honestly.
Yeah, I can respect a man who says, "No, I need to put a ring on it first if I'm going to sleep with it."
But see, the thing is,
wait, guys,
women writing these shows are hedonistic.
Check this out. She's so obsessed with finding out about Captain America's virginity, she gets him into a car accident.
Yeah.
She gets into a car accident?
Yeah, because she's not paying attention about how Captain America's a virgin.
That's
and
pathetic.
she crashes into
At least
a rocket
be rubbing
ship.
one out when you crash your car,
Right?
Don't be daydreaming about it.
Yeah. No, she was too busy. She was in the car with Bruce, and she was telling him about, like, I'm pretty sure Captain America was a virgin, and then she rammed headfirst into a spaceship.
And then she's actually becoming more pathetic than I thought she was going to be.
So
the bar was pretty low to begin with.
Okay, so I saw this scene too. Like I said, I've seen so many cringe clips that I've basically seen the whole show. So because a woman can't get her power from a man saving her life, which is how it actually goes in the comics, she gets a life-saving blood transfusion. They can't have that because that's against the rules of feminist writing. So what happens is they get in this car wreck and she touches him, and
his blood just touched her cut right now, and that's how she got it.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because that shouldn't be enough blood to turn her into a Hulk.
This is fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And she breaks the fourth wall too because they're trying to get the John Byrne fans in, and it's really pissing me off. I'm like,
but she's not funny.
But again, she's basically a Green Ally McNeil, only lame.
I'm grossed out by the fact she wants to know if Captain America's a virgin. Who gives a fuck?
I know, and
the man saved the world.
Honestly, if he is, that's sweet. It's not something to laugh at him for.
Ladies, I'm serious. This is a serious question here.
God, now she
when
looks
you are daydreaming about a man, is his virginity one of the things that you're thinking about?
I don't even think about it. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's like when you're a mature adult, and this is the thing, women never grow up this day and age, and neither do men, but it's the times. Everybody is in a perpetual state of being 14 years old. Like, you a virgin? That's fucking lame. And it's like, that's so the opposite of how a mature adult should be thinking. A mature adult would be like, wow, sex can have some serious consequences, especially in this day and age where everybody's plowing each other left and right and they're not getting tested and STDs are spreading and you got all these women getting pregnant out of wedlock, having all these kids that the government's paying for. Good for anyone who says, I'm going to wait for marriage. That should be a virtue that should be held up and celebrated. And instead, in this hedonistic culture we have, these bitches are like, that guy's a...
Yeah,
Did I lose you guys?
Uh-oh.
We're right here.
Okay, Catherine? We lost Catherine.
Oh, no.
I think
No, come back. Her rant was fantastic.
Yeah.
I even actually paused She-Hulk to listen to her.
Can you hear me?
I was actually thinking, a mature woman would be thinking, do I have a condom that's strong enough to stand up against the Hulk?
Can you hear me now?
What Catherine was saying?
Yes, we
Okay,
can
I
hear
think
you.
I accidentally tapped the mute button on my
okay.
headset.
I
was
wanna
like kind of
touch on
moving the
something
cord around
Catherine
in my
said,
hand.
Just real quick. I lost my virginity to my husband. Because
Yeah,
my
that's
dad
wonderful.
told me horror
I did
stories about high
too.
school students getting diseases
I
and pregnant.
honestly wish that I had just like kind of waited for just waited till marriage and just married young. I really, looking back, I wish I had just kind of waited, found the right guy at like 22, at some nice church boy, and just been with him. If I could go back, I wouldn't have. I kind of let the culture influence me, and that's why I look at this with so much disgust, because it influences people to make bad decisions. And I never slept around, but I wish I had been, very, very selective, and I wasn't as selective as I think I should have been.
Oh, look, she just hulked out for the first time. Aww. Oh, now he's hulking out too. Oh, she's running through the trees because she's hulking out. Jesus fucking Christ.
She's running through the trees.
I need more alcohol.
You need more alcohol to deal with this?
It's so bad, guys. Like, seriously. Like I said, I'm taking one for the team, but oh my God.
I've already seen a lot of it in the context of other people like showing clips and roasting it, and I think that's why I can kind of laugh at it. I don't know if I could watch it all at once.
Somebody just showed a picture of Gina Carano next to She-Hulk, and it's like, yeah, why didn't we get that?
Because
seriously.
See, this is the thing, like the CGI is so bad, and I can't take credit for this idea, somebody else pointed this out, but the CGI is terrible. What they could have done is use like perspective. They could have gotten a woman who was kind of like tall, but not like She-Hulk tall, and then just kind of used forced perspective to like make her look shorter in some scenes and tall when she's She-Hulk. Short when she's dead and tall when she's She-Hulk, and you could just do that and use camera tricks. But instead they CGI'd her. It looks like shit.
Like Lou Ferrigno. I mean, all you need is a worm's eye view, and damn, they're huge. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, they could have made that work. They could have, but instead they had to CGI it. And there's like all kinds of problems I've been hearing in Hollywood with CGI artists right now, where there's just kind of a dearth of them. And meanwhile, Disney has all this demand for CGI right now. They just don't have enough people to make it happen.
Well,
okay, so 4 women have just walked into the bathroom and think that she's been like beaten.
Yeah, and she never explains that she was just in a car wreck, and so they're like, "Oh my God, whoever did this to you?" And she never corrects them.
No.
What would be now? What would make that scene funny? And I'm serious. Is they walk in, they see that her clothes are shredded, and they all instantly hand her their business cards, saying, "I will sue the pants off of whoever did this."
That'd
it doesn't matter
funny.
if they did it or not. Wouldn't that be
actually,
funny?
do you want to know the context?
This woman's covered in green and red blood. She's dirty and fucked up, and they're more concerned about making sure she has very fresh kicks on and makeup done did. And
they dress her up like a hooker.
Yeah, they dress her up like a hoe.
No,
yeah,
and lawyers, they need to be like handing her their business
cards.
No, they're not lawyers. These are just random bitches in a bathroom. After her accident, she goes into a random bathroom. And she meets these women.
God.
So okay, let me give you the context for that scene. You know who? Do you know why they wrote that scene? Because the writer was like, "I wanted to show."
Wait, guys, we're coming up on the part where she's getting hit on by the 3 bros.
Oh God.
But so that bathroom scene, the writer was like, "I wanted to show how women have this unity when they're in a bathroom together." Like it was literally just written so that this writer could put some weird point in about female togetherness.
Oh, look, they're all rapey.
Yeah, and cartoonishly so.
Oh, look, she's hulking out because they're all rapey. Oh, now they're pissing themselves.
You said that like it was so endearing. It's like, oh, they're so rapey.
Oh, the little rapist, so cute.
Oh, fuck me.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, the jack is hitting me hard.
Oh, it's so cute. The MCU has some cute little rapists.
Well, it's so stupid. we've all seen that trope of instantly the bros are rapey, and so we don't even have to like see the scene. We all have it playing in our head, but it's just, your tone of voice was just so precious.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, I've seen this scene. It is cartoonish. Like, these guys are cartoonishly evil. You don't get the sense of like, oh, this is a genuinely scary moment. You get the sense of like, oh my god, these writers are really laying it on thick.
No, they're straight up trying to recreate the Thelma and Louise attempted rape scene, which was a very harrowing, fucked up scene.
Well,
they literally tried to recreate that,
and real writers behind it. This is bullshit.
Like that scene was traumatizing when I saw it as a kid. I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's literally what they were trying to do.
But that's the thing is like that's become not only a trope; it's become cliche. And nobody does it well anymore.
Well, that's because they have an agenda. Like, I think before it was more of just, oh yeah, this will be entertaining. It'll create some tension, that kind of thing. And
wait, I think
now it's an agenda.
Wait, I got to interrupt for a second. This actually pisses me off. Bruce gave her Tony Stark's old Led Zeppelin t-shirt to wear. That's fucked up. Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, she's wearing his old Led Zeppelin t-shirt right now. That actually angers me.
How dare he?
Ivy, come here.
Slap Bruce and rip that off her shirt,
Why would Bruce even have that Zeppelin shirt? I know that.
Are they trying to imply that they had butt sex and he was wearing Tony's shirt afterwards?
They're trying to imply that he misses his bestie because he has like.
But they weren't even really besties.
No,
like they were friends, they were colleagues, But I mean, I don't know if you could call them besties.
For these purposes, they're besties.
I thought Thor and Hulk were supposed to be besties.
I thought so too. But
yeah,
for this purpose, it's him and Iron Man, and they're besties. And it's simply just so that he can give his Iron Man shirt.
Yeah, it's a retcon. It's a total retcon.
Come on, it
not that they weren't friends, but
if it was Thor and his what's it called? Shit. I have the band's name in my head and I'm totally blanking on it and I'm ruining my bit.
Mjolnir?
AC/DC?
No, not AC/DC. I was gonna say Rush.
Rush.
His Rush shirt.
Well, the thing is, they were friends with Hulk, not this soy boy faggoty guy that he is now.
Mm-hmm. You mean Mark Ruffalo playing himself? Because that's what basically. I've been catching since Endgame.
The guy who is saying very, very seriously about how he put a gun to his head and it's the Hulk that catches the bullet in his mouth. I mean, that speech was like, fuck, dude. Nothing
terribling.
She-Hulk has done or ever will do will match that speech. It's like,
wow, Bruce likes mariachi music, everyone.
They're all so quirky and funny.
I know. LOL, so random. XD.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, these women don't know how to write comedy.
Everybody does when they're eating tacos. It doesn't matter.
You guys are proving, who was it, Christopher Hitchens? You guys are proving his point. Women aren't funny.
No, they're not. It is rare to find a female who is funny on her own. It is very rare.
Yeah, very rare. Not a lot of Joan Rivers out there.
No, not a lot of Joan Rivers out there.
Yeah.
I can count the number of female comedians I think are funny on one hand.
Who's on your list?
Have you heard of Sarah Millican? She's really funny. She's this British lady. She's partly it's her accent, but she is genuinely really funny. She's a Geordie. I have to turn subtitles on the YouTube videos when I'm watching her because sometimes I can't even understand the punchline. But she's genuinely funny. She had this Kat, you would appreciate this. She had a joke about going to get a bra fitting. And she said, the lady was like, do you want to look at the back of the bra? And she looks in the mirror. She goes, turns out I've got back tits too.
Oh shit.
She's pretty funny.
Well,
okay, that's funny. Funny.
Well, let's talk a little bit about who wrote this crap, okay?
Okay.
Feminist women. Humor impaired.
How far I'm into this stupid fucking show.
This raging talent here whose other claim to fame is providing us with Pickle Rick.
That's a
Are you
fan.
fucking kidding me?
Nope.
No.
Is she
There
the
she
one
is.
that made Dan Harmon and what's his name, Justin Roiland, like purposely fuck up season 3?
Yep. There she
Yeah.
is, right there. You're looking at her.
Because that
That's-
show was really politically incorrect until I guess she rolled along
Yeah.
and threw a fit to Cartoon Network. And so
Diversity
they purposely made
hires.
season 3 awful.
Yeah.
So
Diversity
this
hires.
diversity hire is responsible for Pickle Rick.
Am I a bad person that if you cut off her hair, you can't tell it's female?
Yeah, no, you're right. You know what it looks like? It looks like, you know how in anime when they draw like the fat dorky guy?
Yes.
Like that's what she looks like without hair.
Yeah.
It's like the
And-
caricature of the fat dorky guy in anime.
And I'm not being petty, I'm being serious.
I don't know. I thought she kind of looked like Winnie the Pooh, but
Guys, can
You
I stop
mean,
watching this,
the
please?
Chinese president?
can you stop watching this?
Should we spare Ginell? Should we spare
do
her?
it
You
anymore.
can stop whenever you want, honey.
I'm done. Oh my god, I can't. I just
You don't have to.
What was the
We-
point that you tapped out? What was the point that you just
Okay.
tapped out at?
that Bruce and her were talking, but she's like, "Oh my god, I changed." I'm like, "Fuck, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done."
Yeah,
They're
she
in Mexico.
browbeats the shit out of him in that show too. Like she treats him like he doesn't know shit. Like she knows so much better than him, and like she's had such a much harder life than him. And it's like, oh my god.
Samuel is gonna kill me. He told me not to hate watch it, and I did it.
That's why you gotta sail the high seas, Ginell. You gotta
did
sail
not
the high
hate watch.
seas.
You watched it for the benefit of our audience.
Yes, for the good of humanity.
Yes.
Oh my
I'll
god,
send
guys,
you-
that was
I'll-
really hard. I feel like I lost brain cells.
I'll have to send you a funny. I'm gonna share it in the chat. This guy, he's like one of my favorite people ever. He's not even like a big channel, but he started out making parodies of your boy Zach's videos. And
Okay.
and I'll just send you the link because he's covering She-Hulk and it's hilarious. I'll just send you the link to his channel.
So, Ginell, now I want you very calmly.
I'm sorry, Dark Stranger. I think I'd be homicidal if I did that.
Very
He,
calm.
he said
what
to
did he
watch
say?
Lord of the Rings, Power of the Ring. It's like, fuck you, no.
No, I
Wait,
won't
guys.
do it.
Homicidal to do that, no.
My
I won't
husband,
do it.
Steve, watched it, guys. He watched it as a hardcore Tolkien fan, and he had to drink a lot.
Was
I
it
don't
like
think
when
there
I
was
tried to
enough-
watch Wheel of Time? I was screaming into my pillow on the couch.
I don't
He
think
did the
there's
same
enough
thing for Wheel of
vodka
Time.
in
Why-
Russia to make me watch that. No,
Why would your
Okay.
husband watch it at all if he's a Tolkien fan? I mean,
no.
Because he wanted to see how bad it went. And like literally he stopped after 45 minutes, went outside and lit up a cigar and just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He did
No,
the
I'm-
same
I'm-
thing
I
with the
don't-
Wheel of Time.
Oh my god, Wheel of Time. I didn't even get to start it up before I was just reading the episode descriptions and I was already screaming. It's like, no!
No, my husband actually sacrificed his sanity. So all the people that we know who are Wheel of Time fans and are Lord of the Rings fans, he could tell them how bad it was. I
gave up and just watched Shadiversity's
give
videos.
Him a big hug for me. You know, he is a better man than I, because I'm not kidding when I say I'd become homicidal.
I want to
my
hear
mom,
what one of the feminist tropes was.
yeah. Galadriel
Apparently isn't as smart and as well versed as Elrond, so Elrond mansplains to her.
Elrond's fucking her like grandson.
I know.
And Elrond like looks gay as fuck.
How's
Like,
that not normal? You know,
That guy is weird looking. And elves are supposed to have long hair. And there's that black elf with the fucking fade. And then there's Elrond with his like Justin Bieber hair. And you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. Am I wrong, or is Galadriel or not Galadriel carrying Narsil?
No.
I'm not kidding. Is
I don't
that
think
what
so.
she's carrying? Because
Well, I
in all
hope
the
not.
pictures, that's what it looks like she's carrying.
Oh,
And
good
it was
God.
pissing
Is she
me
going to
off
give it
when
to
I
the
was
Black
seeing that.
Queen of Numenor? Ugh!
You know, just,
Kill me!
again, there. Oh my god, I'm actually seeing red.
We'll see more red.
Let's not do that. Let's not
Let
get
it
into
loose.
it.
Come on.
Well, no, it's just
Don't keep it in.
No, actually, don't do it. We don't need Cat Hulk.
I haven't even seen the fucking shit, and it's just, I'm not kidding. I thought that I had let it go. I thought I'd let it go, and it was like, okay, I don't give a shit. They're gonna shit out their bullshit, and I don't care. It's their piece of shit on the world, and everybody's just gonna forget it. And then I saw this picture of Galadriel, and I swear to fucking god, it looked like she was carrying Narsil. And oh shit, that got me so pissed. I am honestly shocked at myself at how pissed that got me.
Nerdrotic has been calling her Galadriel because she's just acting like a dude. You know, she's fighting like a dude. Like, the part of Galadriel's power is she's this like magical being, and she's like kind of above mortals in that sort of ethereal way. You would think she would be like a magic.
Yeah, she's based on Elizabeth the First.
Yeah, well,
and she's based on.
And she's basically, she's going around with a fucking sword, like one-shotting fucking trolls. You know, she fought I saw the scene where she fought a troll that they ran into in the mountain, and it was like the one in Fellowship, where they took the whole Fellowship to take it down. Yeah. And she just goes in and like just one-on-ones it. And after all her guys get their shit pushed in by it, she goes in and 1v1s it with a sword. It's like,
bullshit. No.
Kidding me?
She wouldn't do that. And B, no. Why would the elves be in that area in the first place?
Yeah, and
Galadriel and Hobo Baggins.
Yeah, I've seen the clips with the hobbits, and they look like homeless, like walking down the streets of San Francisco. Fucking, ugh.
Oh no,
I guess it's walking down the streets of Knoxville too. I really shouldn't talk. They've got a lot of homeless around here too, but
it is for everybody's best interest that I do not actually watch this show.
Yeah. So the wait, FNT Gary's been calling him Don Lemonless, but Jay Longbone had a better name that I don't know if I'm a Ishi. Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Jay Longbone called him Niggalus.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm repeating what my woman said. Don't kill me.
Well,
wow.
You did not say a forbidden word. No.
I love Jay Longbone is one of the few funny women. She's in my 5 that I can count on. She's not a comedian, but she is one of the few funny women. She's
I love that
hilarious.
She named herself after an MST movie.
MST gag,
yeah. No, she's hilarious. If anyone hasn't watched her channel, you should. I specifically recommend the Beauty and the Beast review she did of the Emma Watson one. It's hilarious. She said watching this film was like trying to push Chris Christie uphill with a bendy straw.
Actually, I agree. I have sadly seen that film, and
yeah, Kat, you and I talked about Emma Watson a while back, and yeah.
Oh, please don't get me started on that fucking cunt.
We've already had this conversation.
Get started. I'm right there behind you.
This bitch plays a role of a character who, if you've read the books, is a fucking sociopath, and she thinks that like she's the greatest feminist thing for girls to come out. Mm-hmm. And she's not. And then she goes on and talks about feminism. She goes to Brown University, which is a virtue signaling cesspool.
Yeah.
The bitch acts like her entire life was awful and that she was treated poorly because she was a female on the Harry Potter set.
Oh,
fuck
my
you,
God.
bitch. You made more money than most people make in their lifetime.
She played herself. Bitch. She did well as Hermione because Hermione is Emma Watson. And now she thinks she can act. She thinks she can act because she played herself.
Not only that, J.K. Rowling picked her because she said, "You remind me of me."
Hermione
didn't pick her. She was already cast. No, Rowling picked her. Well, to be totally fair, I'm going to be fair to Rowling here. She kind of based her on her younger self and kind of put all her old flaws into Hermione. So she was like meant to be she was meant to be very flawed. So I'll give Rowling credit for that. She recognizes Hermione's flaws and knows full well. She's like, I based her on how insufferable I used to be. And I will say Emma was cast by someone else, and then Rowling like met her, and she was kind of talking to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you're perfect. You're exactly like Hermione." So it was more like she gave her blessing. She didn't handpick her.
Honestly, out of all the kids that were in Harry Potter, the only two people that could actually act in that whole fucking series were Daniel Radcliffe and Tom Felton. Have you noticed they're the two that have been in everything else?
Yeah, and it's so funny. Dan Radcliffe just does whatever he feels like. Now, he's doing like a Weird Al parody movie right now.
I cannot wait for the Weird Al movie to come. I can't wait to watch that.
And he's playing a dead body. Like, he's a nut. And I like the direction his career's going in. It's like he made all his money from Harry Potter. Now he just does whatever he feels like.
Did you see?
Well, have you seen the Tom Felton?
Young Doctor's Diary?
No, I haven't.
He did the Young Doctor?
Yeah, he plays the with Ham. Can't remember his first name from Mad Men as playing the older version.
John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm is playing the older version of this doctor in Russia, reading his diary, with Daniel Radcliffe playing the younger version. And it's genius. And he's talking about how, like, he gets hooked on morphine while helping people during the Russian Revolution in the early 1900s. It's an amazing show.
Wait, this is an audio drama?
No, it's a show. It's a show. There's 2 seasons of it. You can watch it on Tubi.
All right.
Oh,
we might have to do a follow-up. We might have to do a follow-up Harry Potter show with Ginell.
Yes. Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it because I have so much hatred for that series. I started out loving it.
I just hate the fan base. I still love the series. It's like, I actually like how flawed you're describing Hermione. I actually like that she's portrayed as flawed in the books. I hate what the movies did where they tried to make her out as perfect.
I started hating it when J.K. Rowling's virtue signaling started to come out, and that was the 6th book. And okay, I'm going to say it. Draco Malfoy and Severus Snape are my 2 favorite characters because I saw from the beginning they were flawed, but all J.K. Rowling did was bitch about how evil they were, and she couldn't figure out why they were so popular. I'm like, because you wrote them as villains, but those were actually real flawed people, and those are. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll do.
I'll argue that her other characters are flawed too.
The most heroic character of the entire book series, quite frankly.
Like Snape? Yeah. And fucking Alan Rickman nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the whole thing about like Hermione being flawless came from the movies. In the books, she is portrayed as flawed. She gets a lot of pushback, and people really don't like her much. She's very much not like the very type she is in the movies. But I mean, like, she has virtues. She has virtues, but she has. I don't know about sociopath. I would say she's more of just a self-righteous feminist who needs someone like Ron, who's not afraid to call her on her shit, to kind of knock her down a peg. And ultimately, he does, and she tones it down.
So what you're saying is she's one of those really uptight college chicks who then
just needs a guy who doesn't give a fuck to dick her down good.
And one night she gets plowed and loosens up and lets the ginger bang the shit out of her.
And
then suddenly she's nice.
Emma Watson is what happens to Hermione with no Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we might have to save this for a whole other show.
The one that became a play where Hermione and Ron didn't get together, and she ended up the dark arts teacher and evil.
Oh, well, Rowling didn't even write that though. That was a couple of like hack fanfic writers.
Oh, I know that was
like, oh yeah, you have my blessing. I don't count that because it's not like she just kind of gave it her blessing because she was like whatever. But I don't count that.
I didn't even know it existed, so
I pretend it doesn't.
I didn't know it was
kind of like with the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics and whatever other shit they're trying to put out now. I guess they're making new movies. I'm like, nope, doesn't exist.
Nothing exists after Avatar: The Last Airbender. Korra doesn't exist.
No, it does not. Except when I'm watching ER's videos and laughing my ass off.
Oh, that's interesting because I have heard nothing but good about Korra. So
Korra's terrible.
Oh my god! No. Show on how awful fucking Korra is.
Watch Avatar and then don't watch Korra. Don't worry, Ginell and I'll fill you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't seen either, quite frankly.
Maybe because I got the Blu-rays. Maybe I'll mail you guys my DVDs or something, and you guys can watch my DVDs.
Shit, are
the
you
DVDs
sure?
aren't the best version. They have like some like issues with the visuals, like kind of doubling up in some places, but for the most part they're good, and free's free. So maybe I'll send you guys those. Or actually, by the time I pay to ship them, maybe it'd be cheaper to just send you the Blu-rays. I have your address. I'll send them.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Let me look at I'll see what they cost first.
Well,
wow.
Thank you.
Well, then we kind of have to review them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've known Airbender was, everybody says it's amazing, and I do not doubt to that.
It's a really good show. There is some stupid feminist shit in season 1, but it's gone after that. And season 1 is still amazing.
Wait, can I just say this? When I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the first season, I was pregnant with Chris, and I said, I hope I have a little boy with Aang, and my dream came true.
Aww.
That's how good it is.
Yeah, I was a child when it first came out, and I'm a youngin'. I'm in my late 20s, and it was like, it hit me hard. Oh yeah, I'm looking at what it costs to just buy the set and what it costs to actually ship you my DVDs, and it would, I'll just send you the whole set.
Holy crap!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Wow, thank you. Oh my God! I huge hug through the airwaves.
Yes, internet hug.
That's one hell of a birthday present.
Aww,
yeah, I don't know when your birthdays are, but happy birthday.
My birthday just passed, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I turned the big 4-0.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, see, I'm a baby. I'm 27.
You're only 27?
I'm
my goodness, I love it! A youngin'.
Widow.
Okay, see, the thing is, that's what blew me away about meeting her as well. The first time I was like, "You're Gen X, right?"
People
like,
never
no.
think I'm my age.
Like, you don't act like a millennial.
No,
she's seen some shit and isn't going to be a pussy about it.
I've just been a contrarian my whole life. To be completely honest, I drove my mother fucking insane growing up because I've always been a contrarian. I've always been the one who's like, "No, that doesn't make sense, and here's why." And like that drove my mom crazy because she would be like, "Well, because I'm your mother and you have to listen to me." I'd be that kid like telling you why it was bullshit.
Wow.
I always had to have a reason. It was like when I started in my career field, the guy who trained me was like, I've noticed that you have to know the reason behind something. So I'm going to try to explain it to you as best as possible because that's how it's going to stick in your head. And I was always that person.
I'm glad that you have that mentality because that is a good mentality. I hate it when people are like, cuz. It's like, no, not cuz.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, or like I was saying earlier, I've been susceptible to peer pressure before. Everybody wants to fit in and have friends and not be the weirdo loser, but at the same time, it is good to have that questioning kind of.
You guys are making me feel guilty because Chris is always asking me, why do I have to do this? And I'm just because you have to.
Because I said so. See, I always have a reason.
Why do I have to take a shower? Because I said so.
Yeah, because people don't want to be around somebody filthy, and I have to take you out in public. That's fucking why.
You think, kid? No, what you could do is instead say, well, I could put one of those little air freshener trees around your neck instead.
See, there you go.
No, this is Chris. He'd do it.
Yeah,
you know he'd do it.
Boys are always like that, and he'll grow out of it when he wants to get girls.
When I was in high school, my friend Andrew, not him, because he was actually, totally into hygiene. But his sister, on the other hand,
oh my God,
she did not believe in bathing, nor did she believe in laundry. No. So it was a godsend when Febreze hit the market.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. That was gross. I don't need to say more. Just, she marinated in Febreze until she was 19.
I'm just going to say, my brother is mildly autistic, and the smell issue is ongoing. You always have to remind him, dude, you stink. Go take a shower. You have to shame him into it. It's
Ginell?
Yeah.
Maiden Hell says that her son's a lot like Chris.
I swear it has nothing to do with hygiene, because once he's in the shower, he won't get out. He wants to stay in there and like scrub everything because he's a germaphobe. It's literally because I'm telling him to. Yeah, that's the whole
Well, that's
reason.
the funny thing is my brother is the same way. It's like you get him to go take a shower and then he'll spend like an hour in the shower. Why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Show him the Invader Zim episode with the germ goggles.
Yes, the germ goggles.
That'll change
What's
his
funny
life.
is he loves Invader Zim, and he loved that episode because Chris is a germaphobe. He's literally that kid that runs out of the bathroom after another kid screaming, "You didn't wash your hands!"
I work in healthcare, so I feel that so hard. I'm that person where like I'll take the sanitizing wipes into the public bathroom with me and fucking wipe down the toilet seat. Like I'm that person.
I just loved how like the baby in that episode was just one gigantic germ. It wasn't covered with them. It was just a giant germ.
Children are so filthy.
Dude, they're carrier monkeys. Like, I worked with children for years, and I was always sick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's the crazy thing is like, okay, like I said, I work in healthcare. It's mostly women. When you work with women with kids, their kids get them sick. So they use up all their sick time when they're sick and their kids are sick. And then they come to work sick and then they get you sick. And you're like, you fucking bitch.
Well, my work actually made us come in sick because I worked for San Diego Unified, and they got mad at me one time for not coming in sick. And so I came in sick with the fever, and then they sent me home. They had to see it. Wow. I had swine flu, H1N1, and they made me come in. And they saw that I looked like death. You mean
COVID when it wasn't an election year?
No, I actually had a job where I got a stomach bug from a kid, and I was vomiting at work, and I went home and I called in sick, and they said, "No way, you've used up all your sick leave," because I'm always sick. And this is before I had kids. Yeah. And I came in and was just like vomiting all over the place and pale. And they're like, "Oh, you can go home." Like, you guys.
Shit. Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe it would have been faster if I actually puked on a child. You know, they would have just sent me home immediately. But I was a nice person. I went to the bathroom and vomited.
I'm going to mute for a minute. I finished my beverage. I'm going to go get another one.
I'm just thinking to loop things around to the topic at hand. I would love to see this this new She-Hulk have to, put up with that type of shit. Actually have to come into work sick as a fucking dog and deal with it. But no, she's a pussy. That would never happen.
Well, speaking of She-Hulk, I've talked to other women who are mothers like me, and they refuse to watch the show or let their kids watch the show because they said that they think that she's a slut and she's disgusting, and it does not. Apparently, the majority of the show is about her dating and fucking other men. Like, that's part of the show. And like, I've talked to other women who are like, I won't let my kids watch it.
Yeah, Ally McBeal, but lame and green.
Well, you heard how the writers got the job. They said they could write a fucking police procedural, so they got hired. And they were like, "No, we actually can't. So we're just going to write a fun show about being a woman."
No.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Law and Order for superheroes. That's what we were supposed to get, guys. Do you know how fucking rad that would have been?
You mean Harvey Birdman?
Be a serious
Harvey
show.
Birdman, exactly.
Yeah, and instead we get this.
I would kill to have a good Law and Order style show with superheroes. That would be amazing.
Dude, you can tell. Okay, this is maybe my opinion and I'm wrong, but Tim Roth is a serious actor. Do you think he signed up for a feminist show, or do you think he signed up for a police procedure while he was going to be defended all season?
I think he was contractually obligated.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten to his scenes yet. Like, honestly, I want to see his scenes because I love Tim Roth. He's a great actor. But it's hard for me to see him in the show because I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be in this show.
Actually, Fizz Chozo brings up Daredevil. And, Daredevil is a public defender. and wouldn't that be great to actually have him go up against, like the real She-Hulk in a courtroom?
Yeah, I would have killed. That would have been amazing.
That would be, that'd be so fucking awesome to see. But no,
don't ask for it, Kat. They're gonna fuck up Daredevil next.
Oh, I know
they're bringing him in.
I know.
Yeah,
they
are.
I
saw that they brought him back to his stupid gold and red outfit, right? And he's supposed to be like dorky and fun-loving.
Well, they have to differentiate it from the one that's actually good.
Yeah, so no, it's going to suck. But I mean, like Daredevil in like it when it was amazing versus like a good version of like Burns' She-Hulk, that would be fucking awesome. But no, that we're not going to get that.
Well, no, because we have to
we'll forever have blue balls for that.
We have to push, as the critical drinker says, the message, and we have to hire a bunch of diversity hires to write it all, and that's just how it's going to be. And so, we can't have anything really good. We have to tiptoe around ideology, and it's just got to be. I don't know. It can't. Nothing can be really, really good.
Okay, before we go any further, Comics Division is in the chat. And if you are not
hi Comics.
Yeah, he's had a great show. If you are not listening to it,
I love Friday Night Tights Comics. I love you on it.
To all of you, go subscribe to his channel if you aren't.
Yes.
Check him out.
I was listening to FNT while I finished out my shift tonight. So
hey,
thanks for the entertainment, buddy. I appreciate it.
Very cool. But yeah, just the thing is that, and just focusing on Marvel at the moment because it's the topic at hand, Marvel has such a rich world that has already been created. And maybe, not maybe, I already know that that's the problem. It's already been created and they can't make all the monies off of it.
Everything that's good must be destroyed for the sake of ideology.
And because they want to take credit for it and make all the monies instead of having to share them.
Too.
But it has such a rich world. You don't need to try that hard, people. It's all the Bible's already written for you. All you have to do is put it on the goddamn screen.
It should be the easiest job in the world, right? But their egos and their agenda gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
Okay, Ginell, you said you had another feminist-related topic you needed to vent on. What was it?
Ooh.
I forgot because I drank.
That's okay. We'll have more opportunities in the future.
Oh, fuck. The new Hellraiser movie.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
What?
I thought I told you guys this.
You were talking to me about it.
I'm not familiar with the subject matter. Please educate me.
You were telling me about it, but we got sidetracked by the idea of Tilda Swinton as when she was young playing playing Pinhead as portrayed in the book. So
a new Hellraiser movie, but the Pinhead is now a female, and so it's not androgynous like in the books, but female.
No,
now,
it needs to be androgynous.
This is where I got upset. They cast what's her name? Jamie Claiborne, who is a trans female actress. That's not a problem because I'm going to say Pinhead is androgynous. She's a shitty actress. I would have rather have taken somebody like Candace Cain or even Laverne Cox, because I was like, okay, you're trying to get the androgynous mode, right? That's what I thought. And that's what I was talking to you about, Kat. And that's when you said she said a young Tilda Swinton. I was like, perfect.
Really, if you're going for androgynous, probably the best way to go would be a male drag queen.
That's
kind of does the mannerisms, but he's not female.
So like
that's what I thought. That's why I wasn't upset about a trans actress. I was just upset with this trans actress because she was the main character on Sense8, and she could not act her way out of a brown paper bag.
Wow!
But then they decided to just have Pinhead be fully female, and they're saying that this is a reimagining of Hellraiser. And I'm like, what? We don't need any reimaginings. Why couldn't you have just taken this actress, made them androgynous, and ran with it? it would have been okay. But no, they decided that Pinhead is now female in this alternate universe. And I'm like, you know what? No. If you would have just stuck to the trans actress being androgynous, which would have been fucking perfect, I mean, you would have hit gold.
You know, Pinhead in Hellbound Heart, you know, has a very feminine laugh.
Yeah, a breathy, airy voice.
Yeah, you know, it's just like where you're not quite sure what he is, and he was called the priest in the book.
Yeah, he's the hell priest.
Named, but yeah.
The only one that had a definite gender was the female, because they even talk about Frank Cotton looking at her vagina and seeing that it's ritualistically scarred as part of their religion, because her vagina is showing, like it's not covered. I remember that. That's clear, why there was also remember Pinhead as the hell priest didn't have nails in their head. They changed that for the movie. It was bejeweled hairpins that were stuck in them. So they were dangling jewels coming off the pins in the grid in the head.
Specifically rubies, so it looked like dripping blood. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, and they were gold.
So is Pinhead going to come out and go, "We'll tear your gender apart"?
Like I said, I have no problem with a trans actress because of the,
I hope nobody heard that I snorted when I left.
But the actress they picked is fucking awful. And then I said, they just decided to make Pinhead fully female. I'm like, why? You actually had gold, guys. Come on.
No,
so the only thing I can hacks. It's going to be a teen Scream movie. It's all a bunch of teenagers and young adults, and if you look at the cast, and it's basically a girl named Riley who's looking for her brother who disappeared after playing around with the lament configuration, and now she's inherited it and she's got to find him. I'm like, fuck me.
You've just said that, and my immediate thought was replace the cube with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
You tell me how that's not different,
Explorers
no, that's exactly what they're doing.
Regions of gender, men to some, women to others.
Here's the other thing that gets me. So Hellraiser 4,
the box has a whole new connotation now. Anyway.
Okay, so the other thing that gets me, Hellraiser 4, unexpectedly fantastic movie in the series. The what's her name? The princess, the demon princess.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of got Pinhead looking like her now.
She's too pretty.
Yeah, like they have where her neck, it's supposed to look like a choker, but if you look closely, it's actually just a stylized, her skin has been cut out and you can see the tendons and veins, so it looks pretty. Just like, really, guys? Really?
Really?
Yeah, look up the pictures.
God, it made more sense having Christy be Pinhead,
I would have been down actually to see Christy inherit the role of Pinhead. That would have been such a fuck you. But no, that's what we're getting.
Speaking of the fourth Hellraiser film, that's the one in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can track down the original script or what was originally intended, I've seen, I think it was it Mr. H, I believe, is what he called himself, or H-Man, I forget.
Oh, Mr. H. No, I watched Mr. H.
Where he did a whole breakdown of what was intended. We could have gotten such a good film. Yeah, that's right. Comics Division's got it right.
We'll tear your mythos apart.
We'll tear your mythos apart.
What's tearing me apart, Lisa?
I can't imagine Hellraiser 4 getting any better, because I actually thought it was really good. That was way different than what I was expecting. And the fact that it went through different periods of time, and then seeing that, yeah, they still exist in the future too. Like, science fiction weapons aren't going to do shit.
Well, in the original, there was a lot more in the past, and with the Hell Princess. And you know how with Pinhead, his main weapon is the hooks and chains?
Yeah.
Hers were going to be razor sharp ribbons. And there was going to be a dinner party with all these French aristocrats that she kills. And then ribbons come down and she's puppeting them as they all have dinner.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Holy shit, you're right. Okay, yeah, we could have gotten something even better.
And apparently they get into this whole thing about hell is all like an M.C. Escher painting now because of the way that our era is, but back in the Middle Ages, hell was more as like a Bosch painting or a Doré, but because it reflected the era of its time.
Oh my god, it would have been amazing. Because I was gonna say in Hellraiser 2, when you go to hell and you see Leviathan, it's definitely M.C. Escher, like the labyrinth of it.
Right. We also apparently were going to get this whole thing of Pinhead being reborn in the resurrection pit at the base of Leviathan, which was like this oozing pool of oil.
Okay, yeah, I need to watch that episode because I've watched all of his Judge Dredd stuff. Since he's British, he covers all the good British stuff. And his Judge Dredd stuff's amazing.
Yeah, it's just it is a shame we did not get what we could have. And I believe the stuff in the future was going to be a bit different and not so low budget.
Yeah, it was low budget, but I did appreciate they actually were able to kind of spin gold out of shit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can explain it.
I like that.
I mean,
this isn't like my wheelhouse, so I'm just listening. And
I'd say that was the thing with Hellraiser, just even from the beginning, was, you know, the amount that they were able to convey on a very low budget is absolutely amazing. And it's all about, you know, mood and tone and putting your money in the appropriate places, mainly making sure that the Cenobites delivered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I think that's where the third movie failed too.
The third movie had so many problems. Oh, that was another thing that the fourth film was going to fix.
Oh, the third movie?
It was going to explain the really lame Cenobites.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how budget they looked?
Oh, you mean like the cigarette girl and CD man and camera lens man?
Yeah.
They weren't actually Cenobites.
They were quote unquote pseudobites, which any Cenobite can temporarily construct on the material plane and turn any person into. And they can be killed by human weapons, and they only exist as long as the Cenobite's around.
I love that concept because those Cenobites sucked. Yeah. Like when Terry Farrell's like trying to run away from cigarette girl who keeps like stabbing her and burning her with I'm like, dude, just smack the bitch out of the way. Don't let her burn you with the fucking cigarettes. Oh my God, a nice backhand and you would have been scot-free. Oh yeah, and there was the horny guy that was Piston Boy. Do you remember that? His piston kept going and he's like, yeah, I'm revved up. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. Why? But because I got distracted. Bar One Studios said something about Jeffrey Combs, and I rewatched the Exile from Perversions of Science, and he says one of the best insults I've ever heard.
What did he say?
He said, "Oh, stop, doctor," because the doctor was he's a bad guy, and he was trying to appeal to him and say that he can try and rehabilitate him. And his character says, "Oh, stop, doctor, you're going to make the tip of my dick cry."
That makes me think of V. Do you know the YouTuber V?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, my cock is crying tears.
Wow.
This is crazy Romanian guy. He's like, oh, yes, my cock is crying.
I'm just like, I saw Jeffrey Combs and that line popped right back into my head.
I love Jeffrey Combs.
I do too. Oh my gosh. By the way, that's a good episode. You can watch it on YouTube. It's got Jeffrey Combs, Ron Perlman before he fell into the virtue signaling pit, and David Warner.
Oh.
Wow. What a lineup. Okay,
yeah, so
Bar One has asked, have any of you heard Doug Bradley's Spine Chiller audiobooks? He did a series of classic horror stories along with Robert Englund and Jeffrey Combs. I own one of the hard copies and then bought two more on iTunes that won't play anymore because iTunes is ass.
No, sir. Are they on Audible?
I bet they are.
I probably have some
credits.
credits on Audible. I don't really go on there enough.
But I do remember, geez, this was years ago at a convention, and Bradley was at the booth selling them, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy one.
Well, that's neat.
Well, it's Doug Bradley.
Yeah,
And I gave him a copy of
check it out.
Titanium. I gave him a copy of the audio Titanium Rain, and I never heard from him.
You know what?
Oh.
I got the other. I take that back.
It
I did get the
happens.
Doug Bradley books. I did not know that there was one with Robert Englund or Jeffrey Combs. So
they just released new editions. Well, they just released new audiobooks of Elric of Melna Benet, and I've been listening to those.
Oh,
But
really?
when those are done, maybe I will check this out.
they
It's on
finally
Audible.
finished those because I
they're
had
good,
been
too.
listening to them and then they like stopped and
I don't
was
know.
getting total blue balls about it. So
I
it's
don't-
nice to hear that they finished them.
Well, so they did new like hardcover volumes, and I've been ordering those
Okay,
as well.
here it is.
And they've got volume 1, so they narrated by Samuel Roken, and they're really good. I've been listening
Nice.
to them, and I think I don't know if they're all out right now. I think I only have the first 2.
I've got all 4 of the graphic novels, and those
I do too.
are amazing.
Yeah, they're
Oh my
beautiful.
God.
Hey guys, I will be right back. The whiskey hit my bladder, so I need to go take
okay.
a bathroom break. So
Understandable.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I've
when
got.
I said I needed to go get a new drink, that also included a pee break, so I understand.
I've got the Spine Chillers Volume 6. It is 3 discs. It's a 3-disc set, so there's a lot there, and it has introduction by Bradley, Pit and the Pendulum, Mark of the Beast by Rudyard Kipling.
Is it all one word, Ishi? Spine Chillers?
Yeah.
Is it read by Mark Lestrange? Or
No, the one he has is by Doug Bradley.
Doug Bradley.
Well, they usually have different readers do different ones.
Okay.
So in this one, it's
I
Bradley
see.
and
Doug Bradley's Spine Chillers, volume. Well, this is volume 9. I should probably.
and it's got Robert Englund reading one of the stories as well.
That is in. Well, okay. It says it's got stories by M.R. James, Arthur Conan Doyle, Ambrose Bierce, H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe. So is this like a sort of amalgamation of different horror stories?
Correct. It's like an anthology.
Readings of classic
that's
horror
interesting.
stories with music in the background and
Okay.
spooky
'cause
people reading them.
Yeah, I've probably read some of these already on my own, but probably not all of them, obviously.
They're good. They're really good.
I'm probably gonna have to crash out soon.
Same, actually.
Really? You're wearing out already?
I've had a long day. I've been up since 6.
Yeah, I've been at work all day, so
Well,
yeah.
that sucks. We've been having a great time.
I'm subsisting on booze right now.
Shit. Well, this went over really well.
Yeah, it's been fun. I love Ginell. I love hanging out with you guys, and I love Ginell. And actually, well, after the stream ends, stay on for a little while because I want to check something with you guys. If you guys have my right contact information.
Sure.
Will do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if like the 3 of you ever want to again go off on feminism, that's like instant ratings.
I can do it every day. I can do it every day. I can go on about feminism forever.
And this was very cathartic because I've had I didn't have a bad day, but I had some. There are some people I'm working with that I need anger, and this was a great way to get it out.
I remember that for a while.
Just like I love everybody I work with at my job, but sometimes they get into the most normie takes, and I'm just like, I need somebody face to talk to.
Wait, can we do this again?
Yes.
Another. Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
really
Ginell,
fun.
I was just saying after the stream ends, I want to check with Ishi and Kat that they have my right contact information, and like I'll give it to you too.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to do like show openings for these. So
yes, you do.
I mean, we've got one for the right or for a WordCraft.
Where a dude's reading a book about killing his wife.
Love that opening. It's so good.
That fits the videos I've been watching. Ginell, I gotta share with you, and Catherine too, if you're interested.
Okay.
I've been watching this channel. It's called That Chapter, and that chapter, and it's all, you know, true crime stuff, because I love true crime. I love watching programs about serial killers, and this guy,
I'm only mildly interested in serial killers, but if you recommend it, I will check it out.
Well, this guy's great because he finds these cases of dumb criminals where it'd be funny if people weren't dead. You know, it's those types of cases. And almost every single one of them, it's like, yeah, this would be funny if somebody wasn't dead.
Oh, God.
And I've been binge watching him for the last 3 days. And it's just amazing shit. I was telling Ishi about this one guy who, you know, most children, they aspire to be firefighters or superheroes or astronauts. This guy aspired to be a serial killer. So he would binge watch like Faces of Death.
Oh my God.
He murdered a cat, not because he felt compelled to kill an animal, but because he had read that that's what serial killers do.
Dude, okay, so that's like one of the first signs is that somebody's like a real creepazoid, is that they start killing animals, you know, as small children. There is a doctor, I'm obviously not going to name names, at the hospital I work at. We looked him up and his picture was so creepy. I was like, I guarantee you when this guy was a kid, he microwaved cats. Jesus.
You know, but the thing is like that's something that
thank God he updated his picture. He doesn't look so creepy on his website now. But I was like, who the fuck thought this was a good idea to put on his website?
But the thing is you know, you look at somebody like that and you go, okay, this is someone who thought it was a good idea, or for their own reasons would decide to microwave cats. This guy strangled a cat because he read that
my cat is screaming at me in the background. Come here, kitten.
I can think it was the gremlin scene in the microwave.
Oh, no. Come here, Ivy. Come sit in Mama's lap.
Aww.
And we will play when we're done. Okay?
Aww.
She's behind me going, meow, meow. She's about a year old, so she just wants to play 24/7. Yeah, she's a baby.
Oh. But yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm horrible.
Like I said, it'd be funny if people weren't dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's like a type of mental psychosis where you just like want to imitate psychotic people. Mm-hmm. It's like, and it turns you psychotic. I don't know, man. It's weird.
Well, it's weird because this guy, like, everything he did, it was just, well, this is what you do. It's not that he felt compelled or he actually like was crazy, or, you know, it was just.
I mean, he had to be at least a little bit crazy.
No, he had
well, this is what serial killers do, so this is what I'll do. I mean, there had to be something crazy there.
Not like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just, dude.
He had a serial killer bucket list.
Yeah, he had a bucket.
Here's what I want to know. Was there a father in his life?
There was, actually. His parents were perfectly normal. It was
that is rare.
In fact, he saved his father's life when he was 10 years old, and that's what started this. He got an award for saving his father's life by the Red Cross.
There's like some kind of narcissism and like megalomania there, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, well, if I can save a life, that means I can take a life, and he became obsessed with the idea of killing people. And so he broke into an old couple's house. They were in their 70s, like late at night, and brutally murdered them. And just so that he could, check that box off his list.
Oh my God. Yeah, that guy had to be some kind of sociopath to begin with. That's not normal.
Well,
what's the name of this channel again? That Chapter?
That Chapter, yeah.
Got it open on my phone right now while we're...
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking for it on YouTube on my phone right now.
I want you to know the dude is Irish, and he has a bit of a brogue, which is fine, but he tells his stories in like a telling a story sort of way where he's kind of halting and like he's thinking about it as he's telling it. So it's not scripted, which is great. But then he comes off with some one-liners while he's telling these stories, which is hysterical. And I think that's part of why I like it, because he's talking about very serious things, but in a kind of lighthearted way. So I can binge watch it without getting depressed.
All right, I didn't know you were on Audible. Thank you for advertising that right now, because I actually did not realize that your thing was on there. Let me add it to my wish list.
Oh, Catherine, you are in for a treat. Like, I've told Ishi several times, this is his greatest work.
Oh, cool! Because I've I've read the novellas and stuff. I've got them, but
I actually want to see Titanium Rain either turned into like an anime or like a show. I think it's that good.
My dream would be like, I don't think they exist anymore, but I'd love to have like Studio IG make it.
Oh, yeah, God. Studio IG did
Standalone Complex.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Standalone Complex is one of the greatest animes ever. We should have a positive feminist night and talk about great feminist characters like the Major.
But see, that's the thing, though. That's not feminist. That's positive female.
Okay,
feminism
anti-feminist. There we go. Anti-feminist.
I won't get too deep into it, but feminism is a communist ideology built on the idea of men as the bourgeois and women as the proletariat, and the patriarchy is oppressing women, and it's a system, and that's what feminism is built on. It's a total load of bullshit.
I like Ayn Rand because I fucking can.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing, is like female strength is not necessarily feminist. Okay, in fact, most of the time it's anti-feminist.
Ladies, I am wearing down hard here.
Okay.
Saki has hit me, but you three can keep going. The Saki has hit me.
All right, you gonna dip out, bud?
He's dipping out.
All right.
He just disconnected.
I just went and poured myself another double too.
Well, I'm still here. I mean, I'm kind of getting a little tired, but I'm still here. So
I haven't really been sleeping all week. So no matter how tired I am, I'm just not falling asleep till like 3 a.m. So fuck it.
Well, you know what? It's Friday night for me. Literally, it's the weekend. All I have to do tomorrow is brew beer. So, like,
what kind of beer you brewing? You doing like an IPA, like a dark brew? Like, what you got going?
No, she's brewing some yummy shit.
I'm actually going to be doing a traditional Oktoberfest.
Oh,
because
really?
Oktoberfest is coming up. And then I'm going to do some froofy beers. I actually found a recipe. Okay, so you know how it became trendy for like pumpkin pie ales to come out, and they're all just pumpkin spice? The original pumpkin pie ales were actually brewed with pumpkin. And so I have pumpkin, and I'm going to brew a traditional pumpkin pie ale that's not all white girl and shit.
I'm going to be, listen, when it comes to pumpkin, I am a white girl to my core. I don't fit in with the stereotype in every other way, but pumpkin spice is my jam, and I love it when stuff actually tastes like pumpkin. So I'm about to like buy a plane ticket and come out there to visit you.
Catherine, I should show you my garden because I'm growing sugar pie pumpkins for Thanksgiving, so I can make my son, who requested that I bake him a traditional pumpkin pie.
I'm so jealous. I live
in a visit
condo.
Me in California. I know California is shit, but I got a guest bedroom.
Listen, I wish.
No, seriously,
I'm just broke as fuck right now. So inflation's kicking my ass. So
okay, if you ever out in California, I live in conservative East County of San Diego County. It's not crazy like
I've heard San Diego's all right.
San Diego's not bad. It's not as bad as the rest of the state.
Yeah, but comparatively.
Steve has been telling me stories about, he works in downtown. He doesn't like work. He's trying to get transferred. He would prefer to work in Kearny Mesa, I guess, right now. He loves downtown. My husband has worked in downtown for like 20 years with different jobs. But he says that he has to walk over vomit, feces, and needles now.
Listen, all right. All I'm saying is I moved to Tennessee from upstate New York years ago to get away from New York people. Now all these motherfuckers are following me, and I'm pissed about it. and we need base people to move here. So, if you guys ever think about it, if you guys ever want to get out of Cali,
I'm in Arizona, man.
Some cool people here. Yeah, Arizona's the same way. Like, people move there to get away from Cali people, and then they
guns. So
yeah, like people from New York move to North Carolina or East Tennessee, and then the lefties move there too for the lower taxes, and everybody who moved there for the politics is like, what the fuck? I feel like Arizona's that for California.
They're trying to take over here, but
they're failing.
We're not having any of that shit.
Yeah, if you put 5 seconds outside of the city limits, here it's the same thing.
I got one word for you. 3 words. Roe v. Wade. Arizona's law is from 1903. You can guess what it says. And that law is in effect right now because Roe v. Wade got overturned. So,
I loved when Count Dankula turned his Twitter into a gimmick account where he pretended to be a Supreme Court justice.
Oh my god, that was the funniest shit.
He said, if y'all don't pipe down, I'm about to make women illegal.
And people actually thought he was a real Supreme Court justice.
They were tweeting him. And okay, so the Queen died a couple days ago, and now he's pretending he's a Duke in England.
Wow.
Count Dankula is the only reason I have a Twitter, because I love when something happens and he turns his account into a gimmick account. It's the funniest shit.
Dankula's a pimp.
He's hilarious.
By the way, I know that we have some British viewers, and I know that she's a contentious person, but God save the Queen,
No, listen, I don't think the Queen is contentious at all. Like, most people respect the shit out of her. She, honestly,
I loved Elizabeth.
She's cool, and she's funny, and she, she's like the last remnant of a bygone era. It's not her fault England. It's not her fault the UK's going to shit. It's the Parliament that she can't do anything about. I mean, I guess she could, but they would just dethrone her if she did.
I think as far as what the royalty stood for, William has a shot of bringing back that dignity.
Yeah,
but he has his father in the way.
I was gonna say, I worry
exactly
about
what I said. Is I don't know why Charles even bothers. He's almost 80 years old. Why even bother to be king? Pass it on to your son.
To be king since day one.
I know, but William is well loved. William is well loved. His wife is well loved. He's lived a much less scandalous life than his father, and his wife's hot and really cool, and everybody likes them. People don't like Charles the way they like William. I think he should
because Charles is a sneering imperialist asshole who treats the Scottish and the Irish like second-class fucking citizens.
It's not even just that. It's also the fact that he his second kid is probably not even his. His marriage was just rife with nothing but
he
scandal.
treated Diana
and then she was fucking her tennis instructor. That's probably where Harry came from. And then they divorced, and he married his mistress, and it's all scandal. William married his college girlfriend. They have a stable marriage, and everything's fine. He's had a much less scandalous kind of tenure as a prince.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what they should have done is they should have gotten Harry some fucking therapy instead of being just use your stiff upper lip, because look what's happened to that poor bastard.
Oh my god, Meghan Markle is a sociopath.
She is. Did you hear about how she got him?
Has no power.
Dude, she scoped him out and
all ceremonial.
She wore his mother's favorite perfume and ordered his favorite dishes when they first started dating.
Meghan Markle is the epitome of a manipulative narcissist. She knew exactly what she was doing. She manipulated
she's a malignant narcissist.
Yes, she is. And Harry didn't even get to see Elizabeth again before she died because Meghan had him here in America. And I feel so terrible.
What do you mean? He was kicked out of the country.
No, she brought him out of the country.
No, she dragged him out of the country. They didn't want him to go. That's why him and William and Kate stopped getting along, because they told him, do not marry her. She will ruin you. She's just a social climber. And he believed her bullshit and then got stripped of his titles.
She manipulated the shit out of him. She is a malignant narcissist.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. But from what I heard, Elizabeth was like, look, there are certain things you are not going to do with this woman. And Harry still did it. And Elizabeth quietly had him removed from the country.
Oh no, that's you know what,
but I
do agree with that.
Knowing what the fuck was up too is like she saw that this was someone who just wanted to use him for clout.
Look, she was reigning the country for 70 years. She had seen everything.
Yeah,
I know.
She was a smart woman.
I love her. I mean, I know a lot of people
really
hate her, but I actually have a lot of respect for her. And I'm not even a monarchist. I'm a fucking American. Freedom
I'm a libertarian. I'm like,
so am I. Okay, I'm a libertarian too. So, but I had respect for Queen Elizabeth II. I respect her, and she that was the thing. Okay, I was watching Lotus Eaters, and I was shocked by seeing like Carl and Callum actually practically in tears talking about this woman, and I was like, but I actually understood because I was like, she's a very respectable woman and she's been such an institution the world over. Like when you say the Queen, you meant Queen Elizabeth of England.
Well, she's been the longest reigning monarch that they've had.
Yeah, and I mean in the whole world almost. I think the only longer reigning monarch was like some king of France that got put on the throne when he was like 2.
Yeah, the guy that was the king of France reigned for 72 years. So he's only got 2 years on her, and he was a child. Whereas she wasn't even supposed to be the queen. That's the whole thing.
Her uncle advocated to marry an American divorcee.
Yeah.
Oh, and did you hear about the thing that came out when Prince Philip, Elizabeth's husband, said when Meghan Markle started her shit after she got married to Harry, said, "Oh, great, we've got Wallace Simpson 2.0."
Yeah,
I was like, dude, that's base.
Yeah, Philip was based as fuck. I will not hear slander of Prince Philip. He was hilarious.
He said some pretty horrible shit, but I think it's because he just didn't hold back and he was not politically correct. He just said
he was not.
No, he wasn't. And he said some sketchy shit where I was like, whoa, bro.
Well,
I liked Philip.
He was high enough that he had license to say whatever he wanted. And since he wasn't king, he didn't have to put on an appearance. So
exactly.
That meant that he could say whatever the fuck he wanted, and it really wouldn't affect the crown. So good for him.
No, he was cool. That was, that was the thing is, it was crazy that and that's something people are bringing up now about Charles, is that the reason Elizabeth's dad was king is because his brother wanted to marry an American divorcee.
Yeah.
Well,
who
Charles
was a Nazi collaborator.
So I mean, does he even, based on how Elizabeth got the throne, does he even have the right? That's what a lot of people are saying. I mean, honestly, he probably should just abdicate to William, because it doesn't seem to me. I'm not English, so correct me if I'm wrong. But it seems like the English don't really give a shit about Charles, but they like William.
That's true,
hey, if we have any people in the chat that are from the UK, I actually want to hear what you have to say. I'm serious. I'm hardcore into UK history because all my family is from there. So I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a huge UK
my family that's from the UK is from Ireland, so their attitude was fuck the British, fuck them. But
okay, Catherine, my family is Scotch Irish, so I know.
Yeah, and then the other half is German, so it doesn't really matter. But there's kind of a connection there.
British
I just like
royal family tree memorized, so
that's funny.
So your mom's side of the family is from the UK, or part of it is, right, Kat?
No, actually we're Scottish on that side of the family, but my mom absolutely loves British history. And like I said, she has the entire royal family tree memorized, including all the offshoots of the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th and 20th cousins. So she knows how everybody is related to everybody and how they're related to all the monarchs of all the other, French royalty, German royalty, Russian royalty.
I know a little bit about that because I'm one of those I can't sleep at night, so I become the Wikipedia historian. Like I know a little bit about that stuff.
Catherine, you and I should do like a midnight show because sometimes I can't sleep and I literally just go studying history.
Dude, you know what's killing me is you like when you say cat, when I'm drunk, when I'm sober, I'm like, okay, cat's cat, I'll be Catherine. But when I'm drunk, like I am now, you say cat, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what a lot of people call me. Are you talking to me? And then it fucks me all up.
Should I call you Ivy's mommy, and I should call Cat Big Tits, and everything's okay?
Okay, so I made a joke once that we could be the cat lady and the rat lady.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good idea. Rat lady and cat lady.
No,
but wait, no, that sounds too much like Tom King. You know, hi Bat,
hi Cat. I have a zillion nicknames. I think Cat is only Cat. I have a zillion nicknames. So when I'm sober, it's not an issue. But when I'm drunk, I'm like, what?
Look, my nickname since I've been in high school has been Nelly Butt. I'm not joking. My nickname was Super Nelly Butt because I was a fan of Superman and a hardcore comic book nerd. So my friends always called me Super Nelly Butt.
That's funny.
Wow.
And they still call me that to this day. It drives me crazy.
I have
especially
a bajillion
my
nicknames
kid.
depending on who you ask. So for me, it doesn't really matter. But oh my God, there's my kid.
Maiden Hell and In a Disguise actually said some stuff. So Her Majesty worked to keep scandal out of the family due to the way she became queen. Her kids, not so much. Yes, that's definitely what we've seen across the pond. Yeah. But with the In a Disguise says, but with the Queen's death and Charles being so unpopular, this may be the closest we will come to abolishing the monarchy. They won't win, but it might be a vote.
Honestly, though, would you rather have the monarchy or the British Parliament? Like, which is worse?
Honestly, okay, just because I'm a history nerd, I would take the monarchy. Like, I'm not British, so I can't say shit.
I would rather have American super centralized where there's one person you can blame than the Parliament where it's like all these retards voting for them. I don't know. I'm not sure. Especially now that Britain is, being basically replaced with foreigners.
Oh, I just saw In a Disguise is actually in Canada. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. I understand now.
Yeah.
By the way, you want to hear? Okay, just on a side note, I've been to Canada. I liked it. I'm sorry that they're going through such weird shit right now.
There's a lot of great people in Canada, but it's run by nutbags.
The nicest people I've ever met in my entire life were in Canada. They were so sweet to my parents and I because we went to Bouchard Gardens, and my parents always wanted
Gardens.
It's great, right? My parents wanted to take me to another country that wasn't Mexico because both of them grew up in Mexico.
Okay, gotta go to Nova Scotia.
Wait,
I'm not kidding.
You have in Mexico?
My family's from Nova Scotia. They were actually the people that established Nova Scotia.
Okay, you gotta
and then went to Pennsylvania and then moved to Phoenix and then moved to California. Wow. I'm not joking. That's why my family is in Phoenix because they all moved from Pennsylvania.
Wow. No. I'm serious. Go to Nova Scotia sometime. If you've ever seen the show Trailer Park Boys, that is exactly what it's like. No, I was shocked. I'm going down the road and I go, holy crap, there's a real shed and breakfast. I saw 2 shed and breakfast while I was there.
Like, there's some stuff that is distinctly Canadian, but like any rednecks from anywhere can understand that. So I say I'm in the South now, but when I say like I'm in East Tennessee, but when I say I'm from upstate New York, they don't understand what upstate means. I'm like, I am a backwoods fucking hick. You do not understand that I am not a city. Like they hear it and they're like, oh, I've been to Manhattan. I'm like, no. Like I am a hick. Like you don't even we like NASCAR and fucking it's bad. Like my dad and his buddies are basically the Trailer Park Boys.
You like NASCAR? You like NASCAR?
I don't, but my dad and all his buddies do.
Okay, because I was going to say I was raised on NASCAR because my mom was a gearhead
I'm familiar with it because of my dad.
Okay, so my parents actually took me to a live NASCAR race when I was a kid at Phoenix Raceway, and I thought racing was stupid until I went to that race, and all this, like, that's what got me into NASCAR.
It is fun. Like,
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Listen, my dad was like, he worked for his father, who was a mechanic, until he got his master's degree, and he's like a big car guy, and all his buddies are car guys, and they go to races and all kinds of stuff, and it's crazy. But I come to the South, and people do not understand that New York is a whole ass state aside from the city, and most of it is just rednecks. There's
Honestly,
rednecks everywhere.
I've never wanted to visit New York City. I've always wanted to go to the state. I want to go to Albany. I want to actually.
Oh my God, no, you don't want to go to Albany.
Don't go to Albany. Okay.
No, Albany fucking sucks.
Okay, I want to actually go around the woods of New York.
Yeah,
I could
go to one of the small
Manhattan.
towns. Listen, I'll tell you off air about like the fun small towns to be, because like my town's pretty fun, but it's so like itty bitty small town. But that's most of New York though, is like if you're not in Albany or Buffalo or New York City, it's just redneck heaven.
My stepdad was from Syracuse.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm not too far from Syracuse.
Oh, very cool.
Like where I grew up. I'm from the capital region near Albany, so
hence why you know not to go there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of funny because I went back up there and I was like, oh yeah, I'm from like the capital region, and I went back up there to visit, and my southern coworker was like, have fun in Albany.
Bar one says skip New York, go to Maine. I went to
Maine is great
in November. I will never do that again.
Yeah, the only thing about like New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, like Eastern Mass, those places, they're very tribal. If you're not from there, they treat you like garbage.
Oh no, it was cold.
Oh,
I went in November. No, I went in November. It was for a business trip, and I will never do that again.
If you go somewhere in like somewhere on like the New England coast, it's like they're like, if you're not from there, they treat you like absolute shit. I met this one girl who she was from California. She moved to New Hampshire. Because that's where her boyfriend was. They had a long distance relationship. And when she moved there, she was like desperate to change her license plates because they treated her so badly. And it's because if you're not from there, they're very like, get the fuck out. And people are very intense in New England. Really intense. Like when they say massholes, from people from Massachusetts, they mean it. They are psychotic. People think people from New York are assholes. No, people from New York are saints compared to Massachusetts. They are psycho.
Wow.
I've always wanted to go to Maine, and I will gladly give them my money because I want to go pick the fresh blueberries and ship them home and make blueberry wine. Like, I'm like, go ahead and treat me like shit. Just show me where to get the good blueberries.
We had wild blueberries near where I grew up. It was cool.
Well, I'd rather than go to New York. Like, you know the places.
Well, I was near the border of Mass, so there were places nearby where you could like go up the mountain and pick blueberries and stuff like that. I'll have to tell you about it off air sometimes because I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm from, but.
Oh, no. I've already been so open that, I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
Because I've bitched about San Diego. And plus,
I'm from a very small town, so it would be like immediately obvious if I said exactly where I'm from. So I'll tell you off air sometime.
No problem.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very like you can kind of, there's so much cool rural stuff, and it's very much very, I don't know. I guess it's just you can find rednecks anywhere. People have this misconception that northern states are all like the big cities that are there that kind of overtake the whole state, and that's not really fair. And it sucks for everybody because like most of my family has lived in New York forever. Like my parents will not leave there because all my dad's friends are there. and his family members are there, and everybody's just there. But they get outvoted by the city all the time, and the city just imports people from all over the damn place, and they don't really, it makes it so that upstate gets fucked over by the city all the time.
See, that's what I hate about fucking cities. And I actually lived in the city. I lived in San Diego. That's why I lived in San Diego for 17 years. Actually, no, longer than that. I think 20. I lived in San Diego for 20 years. And now I want to get as far away from a city as fucking possible. I want to live in Hamul or Julian. I want out.
Honestly say, since I moved to Tennessee, it's like Nashville is like 600,000 people. It's nowhere near what New York City or Boston or any of those places are. So they can't necessarily outvote the rural people. And that's the thing that you have to look at when you look at what state you're going to live in. Because when the city can outvote the rural people, that's when you're fucked. When you've got your Chicago, your New York City, etc.
That's what really pisses me off, because that's a problem we're actually having here in California.
Oh, absolutely.
If you leave the coastal, if you take away San Francisco and you take away LA, California would be red.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, those cities are so huge and so flooded with like immigrants from other places that don't give a shit about American values that you get outvoted by them every single time, and that's your state just is ruined.
Actually, this is surprising. The Hispanic community and also the first-gen Mexicans from Mexico that moved to Central California are hardcore conservative.
Are they?
Yes.
It's not surprising, though, if you think about how they're all, entrepreneurs or they're Catholics.
Well, they all live in Central California because they're hardworking blue-collar folk that have come here. Like, I know a lot of people.
Well, you have your immigrants that come there for work, and then you have the ones that come for the handouts.
Oh no, I've encountered them too, and their kids, and it makes me upset. But I also have friends that live in Bakersfield, and they said that it is more conservative in Bakersfield than it is in any other place in California. And that's all of actually Central California, because a lot of these people came up as migrant workers, and they've stayed because they do have a better life here, and they're doing the right thing. They're working. They're trying to get their immigrant status, everything. Or I'm sorry, not immigrant status. They're trying to move from immigrant to
like citizen.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. The alcohol is kicking in.
I'm smart even when I'm drunk.
They actually want to be here, and they can't stand this shit. And so they really actively, they vote conservative. But for the longest time, they've been told the Democratic Party has your back, and they finally woke up and realized, no, we're just legal slave labor. Yeah. And so, they've become hardcore conservative.
But, see, that's the problem with the Democrats, though, is that they will just keep importing foreigners who will vote for them. Like, as long as it gets them votes, they'll keep doing that. And even if the Hispanics turn against them, they'll just start importing like Haitians or something. I don't even know. I actually know a Haitian guy who's like super hardcore Trump supporter, but that's my only experience. They'll just import people from wherever they can farm votes from. And that's the crazy thing, is that the right is trying to like stand on principle and not do stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you should.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of these immigrants come here, and the Democrats are like, oh, we got your back. And then they're here for a couple of years, and they're like, nah, man, we're voting conservative. You guys don't have our back. You just want us as slaves.
The ones who want to work do feel that way. But overwhelmingly, there are a lot who just are here for the handouts. And that's the reason they came here. That's why they're in this country. That's why, this goes with my libertarian values. I'm like, any person who is socially conservative should be going for like libertarian small government values, because if you get rid of welfare, you get rid of government handouts, you get rid of everything that the government is like handing to people, then you end up with a situation where you're not going to get people flooding this country who just you're going to get a return to conservative values. if you get rid of the welfare programs. That's trying to convince
I agree to a
conservatives of.
certain extent. This is where I know I'm a filthy, not libertarian. But let me explain. When I worked for San Diego Unified, I saw a lot of children who had deadbeat shit parents.
Yeah.
And I watched teachers spend their own money, not just teachers, the school nurse spent her own money buying hygiene products for these kids because their kids would not, or the parents would not buy hygiene products for the kids because they were using their money for drugs or they were banging or whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing. We would worry about summertime because the only meals these kids were getting was when they were coming to school. So when I'm like, okay, I'm a libertarian, but I'm also down with certain social programs as long as they're, she's back.
Yeah.
As long as
no, it's me. I gotta hit the restroom, so I'll be right back. I just didn't want to interrupt the flow of conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Well, so I'm okay with certain tax. This is where it kills me because I know the taxpayer money is going to be swindled on something else, but I've seen actual children suffer. I'm not joking, guys. Like, I actually worked with a kid who had epilepsy and had to wear sunglasses all the time because even the lights in the classroom would trigger his epilepsy, and he had all sorts of allergies. He was living in a filthy, flea-ridden hotel because his mom, who was working 2 jobs, and she wasn't a drug addict, but she had a shitty husband that fucked them over.
Well, so
lived a horrible life.
I'm gonna agree with Marvelous here, Alice.
Oh yes, I agree with Marvelous.
So here's Ginell and the community and the church should be handling that stuff, and I totally agree with that because here's the thing: when the government is handing you handouts, so that you can have as many kids as you want and they'll all be fed and everything's fine, that's what incentivizes people to have a bunch of kids they can't afford.
No, I agree.
And I think honestly,
I agree.
Yeah, when you stop incentivizing it, you stop having the government, because private charity will have an incentive to get you off of their dole. They are not going to want you on their dole forever, because if they keep just feeding your bullshit, they're going to end up in a situation where they're going to be taking care of you forever. And private charities can't afford to do that. The government can't. They're just going to keep taking money from people like me and you to give people who are just popping kids out so that they can collect the next, government handout.
I actually encountered parents like that while I was working for San Diego Unified. It was disgusting. And that's where I said, I feel sorry for the kids. The kids are innocent victims.
But at the same time, it's like that pity for the children is what they prey on to have money handed to the parents. And that's exactly what the purpose of it is that they want to prey on people's pity for the children to hand money to the parents so that the parents will keep voting in a certain way.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. It's buying votes. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I actually saw firsthand
my personal opinion is that, if you can't feed your own kids, instead of the government paying for them, we should just fucking take them away. And then that will disincentivize, these women having kids out of wedlock, no job to be spoken of between them and the father. And they will keep having these kids just to collect government handouts.
Look, I actually saw kids whose parents initiated them into their gangs while I was working at these schools.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
So it's disgusting because
those kids should just be taken away. No money to the parents. Take the kids away.
Oh yeah, we actually had to watch the kids to make sure they weren't throwing gang signs, and if we saw it, we had to report it.
Yeah,
and I actually learned what gang signs were. I was like, Jesus, I couldn't believe how many were being thrown.
Yeah. I mean, I work with some, I've had to work with some of these. So there was a hospital that was in the ghetto, and that got kind of incorporated into the hospital I work in. And I've had to deal with some of the ghetto trash people. And I have to say they are violent as shit. They are psychotic, and their children should be just taken away from them.
Well, I should tell you about my neighborhood that I grew up in.
Oh God! I actually, now that you're back, I need to go pee too. So,
okay. In my neighborhood,
Yeah.
Directly across the street from my house to the right was the illegal clown house.
Oh, God.
Where there must have been at least 30 people living in the house proper. We're not counting the garage as well. And then my neighbors directly to the right-hand side of my house, that guy was raising fighting pit bulls. And he was
glorious.
arrested at least 3 times on rape charges.
Oh,
And
great.
he's my next door neighbor. So
That's
Anyway,
wonderful.
I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back, and then we can talk about our, ghetto experiences.
Yeah, and then I was not the house on the corner, but I was on the second house from the corner. If you go across the street, that's where they were dealing various drugs. And then 2 houses down from them, they were dealing various drugs, and occasionally they would feud. And we had to be, during New Year's, we had to get to the back of the house because people in the neighborhood would shoot off guns, and bullets would occasionally come through the windows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds fabulous.
So, gang signs. I know all about those too.
My childhood, I grew up upper middle class, so I didn't have to suffer through any of that.
Oh,
I'll admit it.
The
I was
Rodney King
privileged.
riots. The Rodney King riots were almost literally on my doorstep. I had to evacuate my neighborhood for about a week because of those.
I can't imagine that, Kat. Let's see.
Yeah.
So that was 92, right? I was in middle school when that happened.
Yeah, I was about 7 years old. So
Okay, what happened when you were 7?
Oh, the Rodney King riots. They were right on my doorstep. So we evacuated to El Monte.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Actually, it was my mom's D&D group put us up, so that was very nice.
See, my contention, and this may be my libertarian bias, is that you get rid of all the government handouts and you'll get rid of most of the social problems. And you get rid of these, people having kids just to collect government handouts, and most of it will go away. Because if you have to depend on private charity, you're not going to pop out 7 children just to, keep getting government money, because the charity is going to eventually cut you off.
I actually do agree. I agree with that, and I know it sounds harsh as fuck, but
it is harsh. But yeah. I worked in a very kind of bad neighborhood, and I have to say what I saw there was rampant abuse of the system. And most of the liberals who were hardcore Democrats were yeah, you know what, these people are a problem, because it was a big issue with people abusing the system and just getting whatever they can out of it.
I was reading the book Boardwalk Empire, which was the basis of the HBO show. And it's all about the founding of Atlantic City. And there's one part of that book that has stuck with me, and that is New Jersey has always been, air quotes, liberal, except for where Atlantic City is, because Atlantic City has always been very Republican, very free, very
capitalist.
Very capitalist, yes. And it's because of Atlantic City that a lot of measures were kept in place to keep it so that New Jersey couldn't tax the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And what they would do is they would pay people. I'm not condoning this act, but I'm using this as an example. They would pay people to go to different districts and vote the way that they wanted them to. It was you do this thing and I will pay you to do this thing, right? And then one year they tried to do that trick again, and they couldn't get anybody to come and get paid to go to the different districts, and they couldn't figure out why. So they went to one of their regulars and asked them, this is money. You're getting a job for the day. and this is good money too. It's better wages than what a lot of places were paying. Why aren't you coming for this job? And the guy told him, oh, well, the Democrats have said that if we vote for their thing in our one area, then we'll get free shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something actually New Jersey's been going a little more, like they're a little more right of center now because so many Republicans from New York City have moved to North Jersey because even though the taxes in Jersey suck, they're still better than New York City.
With all their putting Jersey down.
Actually been, I don't know, maybe next like gubernatorial race they will actually like really turn around on it. I don't know. I hate to be white pilled on anything because it always ends in disappointment, but it could be that New Jersey's turning around because it seems to me like all the Republicans from New York City are moving to Jersey.
Wow.
Oh, who would want to be in New York City right now? That place is even worse than a shithole.
Nobody.
Does anybody live there anymore? I mean,
just
really?
Democrats.
I know I still have some cousins in Queens, but honestly, what I hear from people who still work in Manhattan is it's just a bunch of hobos everywhere.
I mean, I've been hearing that, like, Fifth Avenue isn't Fifth Avenue anymore, that nothing is but basically everything has been reset to like the 1970s and worse.
Oh, it's just crime everywhere. It's just garbage. It's like it was before Giuliani. Everything is just a disaster. So
Jesus.
That's really a shame because New York actually gentrified very nicely because of Giuliani. Yeah, like why do you think Sex of the City became so popular and everybody wanted to move to New York? Because it was fucking gentrified and it looked amazing.
Yeah, because Giuliani cleaned it the fuck up, but it's not like that anymore. It's gone right back to just there's hobos everywhere, hookers, crime, everything. And
do you this is going to show my age. Have you guys ever seen the movie Wolfen with Albert Finney and James Edward Olmos?
No,
Edward James Olmos.
No.
Okay, that movie was filmed in 1982, and part of it took place in the Bronx, and it was about werewolves in New York City, but that's not the point. They were able to film part of that movie in the hellhole that was the Bronx, and it was scary to see how they just let buildings fall apart. And that was the 1970s and 80s New York that somehow everybody wants that back. I'm talking about people in New York that are voting that way.
Yeah.
But I just like, why would you want that back? It blows my mind. You are
terrible. Because people go like, oh, the gritty New York was cool, and then it just became like a tourist trap, and now it's not like gritty and cool anymore. It's like, yeah, but we're also not getting murdered just walking down the street. There's not hookers and hobos everywhere.
People swear that gritty New York is the Warriors and Escape from New York. I'm like, no, it's more like Serpico.
That comes from people who live in California, not New York. Yeah, but that's actually true. What Eloise says about New Jersey is that actually the mob they still have a pretty big presence in New Jersey.
The mob, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I've definitely dabbled in.
I'm not even
about the
I'm
mob,
a backwoods chick, but from what I know,
I've read it started, of course, with Wise Guys, and then I read Sammy the Bull's book. Then I read Donnie Brasco. Then I read Murder Machine, which is fucking amazing.
Well, what my relatives from New York say is they all say that actually the neighborhoods that were run by the mob were cleaner and just generally better run than the ones that like the city basically took responsibility.
Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom again.
Okay, not a problem. Actually,
everybody says
when she gets back, I'm probably gonna be having to shut things down soon because I'm getting tired.
That's okay. But basically my relatives from New York are like, the mob neighborhoods are actually better than most of the the ones that the modern New York people run. Back in the day, the mob neighborhoods were pretty clean. They kept, the other gangs out of them. And as long as you paid your dues and minded your own business, you were fine, and your neighborhood was a good place to live.
Well, and it's interesting because that all kind of came from the early, late 1800s, early 1900s, when you had the Black Hand start up here. And they were all anarchists from Italy who were just raising hell and just, burning things down and causing mayhem throughout the Italian sectors of New York. And it's because of their mayhem that God, I can't remember what his name is, but basically the American version of the real, he's basically the real Sherlock Holmes for America. I can't remember what his name is. It's Joseph something. He cracked.
His name.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about. He cracked down on them, and because of him cracking down, they decided to police themselves, rein in on the anarchists, and start La Cosa Nostra and become the Italian mob that we know today, and or at least the Italian mob of Goodfellas. And it's that idea of we got to police our own, we got to keep it together. Yes, we're engaging in illegal activities, but at the same time, you don't shit where you live. And it's that mentality.
As long as you minded your own business, if you lived in a neighborhood that was run by the mafia, you had it pretty good. Like there wouldn't be people coming in and like killing people and putting up graffiti and shit. Like it would be a very clean, very nice neighborhood. You just had to mind your own damn business.
Exactly.
You pay your dues to the mob and you mind your business.
And if they were doing their job, their protection rackets actually did their job.
Yeah. Honestly, when you look at the way New York is run now, that may have been better, because now the cops don't do anything to protect you. No. At least the mob would keep other crime issues out of the neighborhood, as long as you minded your business with them and just, kept on their good side. You wouldn't get fucked with by people who were coming in from somewhere else to fuck with you. Nowadays, it's totally different. So it's almost like the mob did a better job running the city than the actual city government does nowadays.
They did, actually. Forever, that actually was the case.
Yeah.
Daniel
That's what some of my cousins say.
Daniel brings up the Yakuza. I can't tell if you're being serious or not. The Yakuza is interesting because, they actually have their own, or at one point they had their own bi-weekly magazine that came out about what different members of the Yakuza were doing. They were almost like celebrities for a while there in Japan.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And they still kind of are to this day. There is still at least one magazine that comes out once a month about what are these Yakuza stars doing? And yes, it is true. If you are a Yakuza run organization, you proudly display that you are Yakuza run, because it does mean that it is a clean ship. And no, they aren't going to screw you, and you will get quality, service or whatever that you're going through. That is true. So they do have a pride, but at the same time, they are a crime family, so there is that going on too.
As long as you have to be very careful to mind your business when there's a mob, either the mafia or the Yakuza, whatever it is. You have to be very careful to mind your business. Don't see anything you're not supposed to see.
Well, yeah, Ishii actually has a story from when he was still in school. He was in school with a guy who was in the Marines. Outside of Pendleton, and the Marine had been stationed in Japan. I don't know which base he was stationed at this very moment in time, but they went to a club that was Yakuza ran, and this girl decided that she was going to claim that the filthy Americans had stolen her cell phone. And it got kind of, scary there for a bit until it was discovered that nobody had stolen her cell phone. She had hidden it in a certain part of her anatomy. And and they beat the ever living shit out of her for saying that these guests had stolen her phone, and they did it like right in front of the Marines. And then they turned to the Marines and said, "We're so sorry," gave them free drinks, gave them free food. Basically the rest of the night was comped for them. So they made amends, but at the same time it's like, holy fuck.
I know everybody says the Yakuza follows the Japanese culture. They're so polite and businesslike, but just hearing that story shows like they're not what you typically think like you see in anime or manga.
Mm-hmm.
They actually are the fucking mafia in Japan.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're the exact same. But it's like we were talking about, they have their upsides and their downsides, because you look at the way the government behaves and it's almost like, I would actually rather live under the mafia than the way the government is acting right now.
Oh, I would too, honestly. I know that The Sopranos really glorified American mafioso, but at the same time, like what we've got going right now, I would rather live under Tony Soprano's
I've always lived, and I'm not pretending like I know what it's like in New York City and New Jersey and stuff. I always was upstate, New York, Massachusetts, whatever. But I have to say, from what I've heard from some of my relatives who lived in New York their whole lives, it honestly almost seems better.
It's a different type of corruption.
I'm not gonna say for sure, but at least you kind of knew the people who were fleecing you for cash, whereas the state government, it's like, well, who the fuck, you don't even know these people, you'll never talk to them.
Even if somebody was fleecing you for cash, but they went too far and they overdid it, the mafia would come in and check those people and give you back the money that was taken from you. That was where they took too much. They would pay you back.
Yeah, well,
there was a weird honor.
But if it got too crazy to where they were going to get caught, they would curb it. I'll say that.
I do apologize. I think it's UDMB. The font on my screen.
I can barely tell what that is either. So
I do apologize. But he says, back in Colombia, my father would swear the gangsters would help people more than the police in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I have heard who's half Colombian who kind of who said the same thing to me once.
And that's amazing to me. Just how many times that type of story comes up, that that the thieves are actually more noble than the law is.
Yeah, that's how bad our government's gotten. Crazy.
No, it is. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. We've been on for 2 hours. It is 10 p.m. for me.
Me too.
And I need to tap out.
Okay, well, I mean, if we can drop off and I can just make sure, because after we aren't live anymore, I want to make sure that we've got
yeah, definitely, most definitely,
straight, because I know there's been some confusion with that because my phone number changed. So
okay, yes, thank you. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was an impromptu show, and I think we had a ton of fun. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Ginell. And as always, links in the description below. Like and subscribe. Check out Ishii's books. We'll be back on Monday if all goes well. Ginell, are we still good for Monday?
Oh, yeah. I thought we could rant about the new Black Adam film after you and I were texting today.
Yes, and you have clowns to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yes. I can't wait.
Yes. And Ginell has scary clowns to talk about. So stay tuned for Monday for that show. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Night.
Night.